hello everybody. Once again, it's Uncle John from Uncle John's Farms here in Center Point, Indiana, and today it's another beautiful day. It's time to get back to work on our egg mobile. We have pulled it out of the garage, and we have decided that we're going to start building our stud walls and getting ready to put the roof on. One thing about it, we had some rainy days, so I put it in the garage so that I could put the mesh floor in, and today we're going to start on the stud walls. We've got the first two studs. This will be the one for the very front, and then coming back here at the end, what I'm going to do is pre-drill some holes to get the screws started. And we'll have to put these in at an angle, and they're a little hard to get started. We're going to put one on this side, one on this other side, so that they don't hit each other. Now this will be the bottom that fastens to the wagon. Again, because this is just going to be for the chickens, we're not worried about if this doesn't match up perfectly. We're going to just stick the first one there. I've already got the screws pre-entered in. We only really want it to be flush with this outside piece for when we put the siding on. Check to make sure it's a little flush here again before we set this other one in. Now, we will come back through and make sure these are all level as we start putting the top plate on. Well, one thing I wanted to point out, because I am working alone this morning, when I'm putting up this wall, I had to put this temporary brace on to keep that wall from moving back and forth. I'm going to have some help here later on today, but right now I'm by myself, so I put this temporary brace up just to hold the wall up. Okay, as you can see, now I've got the top beam on. We'll start putting the rest of the studs in. We're going to put them 2 feet on center, and then we'll start over here on the 4-foot side. That'll be a little higher than what we're putting on, so that that'll give the roof a pitch when we get ready to put the rafters on. Starting these screws just so they don't split on us. I've drilled them out. I've also marked where that next stud needs to go on this side, the center of it. And we just want them to get started at the bottom. Okay, so now we find our mark where the center of the stud needs to go. We kind of put it there. We have to bend this up. We haven't fastened any of the top plate down yet. And we'll come through and level these up before we screw the top plates down. Make sure it's flush on this back side so our siding will match up. Toe nailing and toe screwing is one of the hardest things you'll do. That's one reason I go ahead and drill it out. Like I say, we'll come back through here and we'll level these up before we actually screw the top down on it. The two ends, they're pretty easy to square up because you've got two ends. Well, as you can see, I'm up on the wagon. We're going to get ready to fasten this top piece in. Going to have to be kind of careful. Wood today is not as good as it used to be. There are several splits along the wood. Unfortunately, I've only got a giant level, but I'm going to try to use it as best I can to level these up. Again, it's going to house chickens. We're using, an old beat up wagon. It's nothing that has to be perfect. And this is not the best way to check to see if you're level. Actually, that one looks pretty good. We did a good job on that one. And there goes level. Now you just want to make sure you're flush on the sides, so when we put this siding on this side, that it's going to match up all right. And you're just going to drill screw down through the center of that 2x4. Now I did pre-drill these. And we want to try to get them countersunk a little bit because there'll be rafters that set on this that will go to the other side. This one we may have a little problem with because see we have a split here. Alright, we'll go on down to the next one. Well, as you can see in the background, we got the 3-foot wall done. We're going to get started on the 4-foot wall. We're going to build it the same way, starting with the ends, putting the top on, and then we'll probably go ahead and tie the two together. Right now is when you could really use some help because these boards aren't wanting to lay straight. So I'm going to temporarily put a screw in here. Just tack it on there while I come down and get this one all lined up and put in. Because as you see, this one's got a little problem with the base plate and it wants to wobble out on us. Which won't be a problem as we get on into construction. Alright, right now we're going to go ahead and make at least one cross piece here in the front to tie the two walls together. We'll do the same on the back. So it's time to start pulling down our brace from this first wall. Now this will be our new cross piece. And we're only going to put one screw in it for right now. I'm just a tad bit short in the britches, but that's alright. Once we kind of get it marked, we can let that edge come down and at least tack it in there for right now. We don't want to screw it all the way down at this point. I want to come over to this other side. And it's just a hair off over there. Now what I'm going to do, I don't have any help, so this is going to become rather difficult. I'm going to put the level on here and it's windy. So I'm hoping the level does not. Alright. So I need to try to hold this wall in while leveling that up. This is where if you have some help, comes in real handy. because they can actually be watching the level and holding the level, making sure it's not falling in on you. As soon as you let go, it wants to slide. And there goes level. See, that's the reason we kind of need some help. Okay, so now that we got the two cross members on, it's a little more sturdy. I'm going to go ahead and finish studding this side. That's our taller side.
Okay, give me just a minute, Jay.
Okay. If you want to, just hold it. There you go. We're good. Still good? Okay, as you can see, we got the taller wall up. For most of you that are telling me that this is uneven, I know that. This side is 4 feet, the other side is 3 feet. That's to give us a pitch off of the roof. We're going to have guttering down the other side that's going to end up filling up a water tank so that we can water the chickens as we take them out, because we're going to try to reuse the rainwater as well. But we got both sides up. It has become starting to get really stable right now. We're going to be putting some more framing around the bottom part, and then we're going to start framing out the door. All right, so we got the walls all done. We've started putting the first couple rafters on. The way we're doing this, because these metal pieces we're going to make the roof out of are 3 foot. We're going to have a foot sticking out, then it'll fasten to the rafter that's right here. Then we'll go in 2 foot, put another rafter. Then every other rafter will be 3 foot to match up with the end of those pieces. Well, we've got the framing all done on our Eggmobile. The rafters are on. We brought it down to the big barn because that's where we store our excess metal that we're going to be making the roof on. And that's what we're going to be doing next, is cutting tin and getting the roof on our Eggmobile. It did come down the road and it just drove fine. Well, as you can see, we've got the roof on the Eggmobile. We'll be doing the sides up here in the next couple of days. We kind of run out a little time and material. I want to take a minute, though, to remind you folks that we are in the process of taking our pre-orders for our 2021 chickens. They are moved every day to fresh pasture, no GMOs, totally free range, except for they are in a cage, but they have plenty of room, and they get new grass every day. They are some of the best tasting chickens you'll find. You can go onto our website, UncleJohnsFarms.com, and find out more. You can hit us up on Facebook, and we do take the SNAP program EBT cards and the PEBT cards as well. That's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for coming along and helping me with the Eggmobile project. We'll be finishing it up in the next video, and of course, we always want to say that we appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for following us along, and thanks for being a part of our community.